Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I am here today with a Taylors Falls Bead Store project. I'm super excited. So, as you guys know, on my channel, we have a bargain bead box playlist where we work with the bargain bead box, making a project once per week. We have a Jesse James Beads project once per week. And now, hopefully, we are going to have a Taylors Falls Bead Store project once per week, just because it makes sense since I sell Taylors Falls Bead Store products on my website, which is www.thunderhorse-descendant.com, where you can visit and find wonderful, super amazing, awesome beady stuff. You can also find jewelry on there. I put up my handmade jewelry. I will probably put up the necklace that we're going to make in this video. But I just wanted to make you guys aware that on Morning Coffee, we designed this spectacular necklace. So this is my design book, if you guys are wondering. We've designed this spectacular necklace utilizing, I think, pretty much all Taylors Falls bead stuff, and it's going to be super fun. It's very intricate, so there is going to probably be some fast forwarding in this video, but I'm excited about it. There's a lot of components and a lot of different stuff, so I'm excited. If you're not familiar with Morning Coffee, I do on YouTube. I do a morning coffee show every morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Everyone is welcome if you want to come and get involved with the designing and then seeing them come out on my channel, you know, in the coming weeks. Or if you just want to chit chat, if you're involved with any of our found objects challenges, we talk about that. We do all kinds of things in the morning coffee. So please come join us. Everyone is welcome. It is free, starts at 9 a.m. It is a live chat. So come in, say hi, let us know you're new. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you'll be let known. So you'll know. So you'll be informed every time I put up a new video on my channel. All right, guys, let's jump down to the mat and get going on this project. Okay, here we are on the mat. This is the design that we doodled up on Morning Coffee. This is a multi-strand leather. We are going to be using a 0.5 millimeter leather in teal. This is from Leather Cord USA. Also, going to be using the knotted cord. So this is a Brazilian waxed cord, and that's what we're going to be using here to tie our leather off with and tie beads onto the end. I do not have any of these available on Thunderhorse Descendant right now, but I have had them in the past, so many of you may have this but I can get some more next week. Alrighty, then we have the sea glass ring. So Taylors Falls has so much sea glass, you guys. If you want sea glass, please leave it in the comment. They got all the sea glass. So I got us a sea glass ring for that. And then here we have the handmade toggle clasp. This is a handmade toggle clasp, and it is $8. I do have a few of these available on the website, the same one. Alrighty, that's what we're going to be using for the toggle. We have some apatite, raw apatite from Taylors Falls. So we're going to be using that. We are also going to be using polished apatite. So super excited about that. I have also included, I found this little chain. Now this is not from Taylors Falls, but I found this in some of my 1970s jewelry box. And I thought it was cute. It's got different gemstones on it. This is a ceramic pendant. Now, this one I did get in Taylors Falls, but I have also seen these available on the Jesse James Beads website, so they're around. And then I have a few of these seashell beads. These are from Taylors Falls. They are check glass, I believe. and they're double-sided. And I am super excited for this. So it looks like I put on here, oh, someone had suggested that we put the both of these strands in through there. So looks like all I need is some bronze spacers and we're ready to rock and roll. So let me get those and we will jump down to the mat and get this party started. All right, guys, so I grabbed us up a bunch of varieties of bronze spacers, and I feel like we're gonna start out, I feel like we should start this project by doing the stringing first, and then we'll do the leather portion at the end. So better take this little price tag off of here. Okay, so how this guy works is that this is the female part. The male part comes in here like this. So we are actually going to be connecting our leather onto the jump ring here for that. So that means for this portion, we can connect our beading on to this jump ring right here. So now this jump ring and the closure for this is red bronze. And I do have bronze spacers and stuff, but I'm not too terribly worried about it. So it looks like the first thing that we're going to do is we got to get our beads ready to roll here. So I'm going to do that. Jeff can fast forward through this portion. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some 19 strand Beadalon beading stringing wire, and I'm going to get about a foot of that. And we're going to start working on this first little beaded portion where we are going to put on these tapered apatite. Now I did not take them off the string because I'm going to try to utilize the string to put them on my cord. And then we're also going to put this guy on there as well. So first things first, what we need to do is we need to get us some bead crimps. All right, guys, so What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try to utilize these apatite stones to make a bail to go around the ring here. So I'm going to put those on first before I put on my crimp bead. That one's being a pain in the butt. Some of these have little tiny holes. I don't think that's quite enough yet. All right. So let's see if that is going to work. Oh yeah. Looks like it is, even on the thicker part. So get myself a crimp bead. And we'll grip it. So I do want to make this tight. I am going to use a bead cover there just to cover that up a little bit. Commit to the squish. All right, guys. So now we are ready to rock and roll. I am going to give this just a little trim. We don't need all that on there. And I am going to be stringing these. So I'm probably going to have Jeff fast forward the stringing portion of this because it's boring. But I am going to start stringing. I am going to try to go like this to see if that'll work, which I doubt it will, but yep, the holes are too small. So I'm going to cut this at an angle. Try to help myself along here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am just going to attach this right onto here. And I suppose I'll use a wire guardian. I was going to use red bronze, and then I was like, but I got a bronze one over there, so bronze it is. Alrighty, so gonna go in here and crimp. Pull test. Just gonna give that a trim. And now all I need is a bead cover, because I got a bead cover on the other side, so put a bead cover on this side. Commit to the crimp. That means you just have to go for it. Don't hesitate. Alrighty, we are well on our way. So now, moving on to the second strand. Now, in the original design, it looked like there was 2 strands of these, but I see now that I do not have enough. So, I think what I'll do is just move on to the second strand for now, and we'll figure the rest of that out as we're moving forward. This is what we got so far. It's coming along. So now it looks like the next set of beads is going to be this larger nugget type, and I have it sprinkled in with this. So I think I have just enough to go with this in between, and I'm going to get myself another piece of beading wire, about a foot. And again, I'm going to make this same loop. How many do I have on there? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's about 17 beads on there, but these are natural stones, so that's, you know, they can be different size. but I'll put 17 on. Okay, so that is 17. It looks like it's going to work out. So I'm going to go with my crimp bead here. And get this all crimped up. Spinning around on me. Okay. Whoops, just hit the phone. All right. So we'll go again with the crimp bead. Give that a little trim. And I have been adding a little bead here at the top just to cover that up, because the stones I have are too small to cover up the 2 strands, so that's why I'm using them at the end. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to first go with a little bit of this apatite before I move into some more of the chunkier portions. I think this will make it look slightly more fluid. Like a continuation from the loop. Also on this strand is where we have the seashells. So I am going to go ahead and add one. Zoom it in a little bit. Yeah, it looks cute. Those seashells look so cute. So I want to be careful right here too, because we said that we were going to have this also go through the pendant. So I am going to add a few chunks of the raw just to see what we're working with here. And if it's going to cover up that strand too much. I'll put about 5 pieces on. Oh no, I think it looks pretty good. Probably get away with one more there. I didn't like the way that was looking right there, so I'm going to add some more of these guys. I'm going to deliberately switch into blue right here with these apatite just to give it a little more dimension. So I am giving this a little extra space on this side because I feel like it will give these stones a place, you know, if they're not so tight up against these other ones, it'll give them a little spot to lay down at. So I did put on probably one extra bead just for the design. And then just gonna run this through here with the other one. Back through the crimp bead, and then back through this spacer bead. So I'm going to straighten it and I'm going to lift it up because it's not always going to be laying that way. So I want to make sure I got everything where I want it to be. And then, ooh, once I'm satisfied with where it's at, I'm going to do the crimp. And bead cover. Alrighty. So, thus far, I'm pretty happy with what we got. Show you the picture. So this is what we have thus far. Here's the picture. So we basically, this part didn't quite work out because I didn't have enough beads. So I just ran this last strand in through there. So now we have to make a decision here. Do we want to go? So the next portion would be this strand here. If I wanted to use this. Now, I thought I was going to like it, you guys, but I don't know if I am going to like it. I don't think I do. I thought I would, but I don't think that I do. So I'm going to take that away, and instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to go again with more of this chunky, and I'll just have a third floating strand, and I'll use up the rest of these beads in this, and I'll put some more seashells in there. That'll make it look cute. So we're going one more time with the bead-along wire, getting a foot of that. And crimp and spin and do the bead cover. Okay. All right, guys. And we're off. So now that I'm out of beads, I'm out of the little apatite, I'm gonna have to go with the bigger, chunkier. Um, Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I have done here is I have taken our 0.5 millimeter leather cord USA and I've just cut these into 1 foot increments. There's 9 of them. So I have 9 strands, each is a foot long. And what I'm going to do right here is I am going to first see if I can get these through our link. Hopefully they will all fit through there. No problem. Let me just give them a little trim here. So they're all the same length. And I want them to all go in there at the same time so they're not all a bunch of weirdness, you know. This one wants to be complicated, I guess. Well, I guess it's 8. I'm not going to sit around and fight with you. Okay, it's 8. So now what I do is I got my 8 cords in there. So I did find this. This is a little piece that came from, I think, an Auntie's bead box. Jake is upset with me. He's over here crying about something. And I did want to add that on there so that it would give it more flat when it laid in this toggle. Because I have all these cords on there. See how good that works out? So this is actually the ending for a hook and eye clasp. So now that I have that, and I know that I can fit 8 of them in here, I'm going to go ahead and tie this off. So, hold on, Jakers. We're almost done. So what I can do is I'm going to take this cording, and I think I'm going to go with this brown color And I'm just going to take a little piece of this cording. And I'm going to grab my Loctite super glue, wherever that went. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to hit this right here. Not right up against the clasp, but pretty darn close with a little glue. So then I'm just going to lay all these parts over and kind of just let them be friends for a minute. And then once they're held there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go in and wrap around it with this Brazilian wax cord. But first it appears I have to take Jaker outside. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry up a sec. Alright guys, so I don't know. I got distracted with Jake and then I was recording but it was upside down. So I'm gonna have to show you how we did this on the other side again. So now what I'm gonna do is I have my end on here. So that's gonna fit right here. And the only thing left to do is to bring this around and connect the other side. So I am going to connect right on to the glass. Before I do that, I just want to make sure everything is laying the way I want it to be laying. And I will show you again, preferably without interruption, how I did this. So I just want to make sure that all the cords are working where they're supposed to be. And it looks like they are. So what I'm going to do first is, once I got everything where I want it, and zoom in, I am going to put a little bit of glue here on these ends. A little bit of Loctite glue. And then I'm going to, I'm not putting it right up against the, glass. It's a little bit further away. And I'm just going to hold it down there for a second until it takes hold. And then once it has, I'm going to grab a little piece of this brown Brazilian wax cord, about a foot. And this is what I'm going to do. I am just going to first start underneath and just wrap around, leaving this tail here. I'm just wrapping. Some of the glue might be a little wet, and as I'm wrapping it, you know, it's going to stick to the string. So just wrapping, and then once I feel like I've gone far enough, I'm going to start heading back down towards the tail. And I am keeping it pretty tight. Once I'm down here, and I've got it pretty tight the way I want, I'm going to tie in the front, just a overhand knot. This stuff is sticky, so because it's pre-waxed, so it's going to stick to itself. Which is good. And then I'm going to tie in the back. 1 and 2. And I'm keeping that tight. So now, we said that we wanted to put a few little beads on there, but we ran out of beads. For all these little tiny beads that we had, we used them all, so there isn't really any beads to put on, so I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is I'm just going to make sure that all of this is tight. And it looks like it is. I thought I could go up a little further, but I don't think I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this off. And like I said, this is some pretty good wax cord, so I'm not worried about it being wonky or anything. And I'm just going to let it stick to itself for now, and then once I'm comfortable with the whole situation, I will go in and just, you know, I might even put a little glue there so it doesn't stick out. And over here, I'm going to do the same thing. And then for these little tails, I'm just going to trim them up. Pretty short, so they're all pretty even. So you can still see them sticking out of there, but they're all pretty much the same length. And I'm going to get all these ones on this side as well. Got to be careful that you don't cut one of your strands that goes across. You make sure you got all tails before you start cutting. All right, guys. And with all that being said, there she is, all done. I am pretty happy with it. I'll show you the design. Oh, I just spilled spacers all over. There's the original design, and here's what we made. I am quite happy with it. I think it turned out pretty good. Alright guys, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please make sure to leave it a like. It is very helpful. Don't forget to sound off in the comments below. Leave me your feedback on the project, and I try to answer all of the comments. So if you hear from me, that's great. I hope you guys have a wonderful, amazing, spectacular day, and I will see you on the next project. Bye!